It's not a secret that the Bronze Age is the most tedious and unenjoyable experience you'll ever have in Valheim. But let's face it, it's absolutely necessary. In this video, I'm going to give you tips and tricks on how to mine efficiently, as well as what to make first in order to make this phase of the game easy and somewhat enjoyable. So, you've killed the first boss, uses antlers to make a pickaxe, bludgeon skeleton after skeleton in their natural habitat in hopes of finding the mother lode of Surtling cores.
Oh my god, it's huge!
And then you slap down a charcoal kiln and smelter. Well, saddle up, buddy, because now the fun begins. No wait, it ends. Now the fun ends. Sounds like Funyuns. Now, I'm sure we all know where to find copper and tin and how to turn them into bronze, but in case you forgot, here's a refresher. Copper is found in this, and it looks like this. Tin looks like this, it's also found in this, but only if it's next to this. You throw the tin and copper into this, and it comes out like this, then you take them to this, and you select this, then you click this. And now you got bronze, baby! Mining tin is pretty easy. It's real easy. There's nothing like it. You just run along the water in the Black Forest, and you smack them as you see them. Be sure to make a note of the river systems in the Black Forest also, as tin will spawn there as well. When my inventory gets full, I like to mark the map where I mine tin last, so I know where to pick up whenever I need more. Now, for the part of the game that will make you hate the gods and existence itself. Mining copper. When you come across your first copper vein, don't just jump in and start swinging all willy-nilly. Oh? There's a better way. There's an easier way. There's my way. I spent over 270 hours in the copper mine so you wouldn't have to. Don't believe me? Check the log. So set your pride aside and accept your fate, baby, because for the next few days, you're gonna be breaking rocks. The first thing you'll want to do when you find your new home is slap down what I like to call the workbench shelter. Copper deposits are huge, and your pickaxe is going to break a lot, so you need a place to repair. You'll also need a place to refresh your rested buff. Alright, so this is how I make the workbench shelter. Workbench. Wall, roof ridge, put walls on both sides, roof ridge, thatch roof, fire. And I usually put a door too, in case you need to go AFK. You could break that wall down, and you have shelter. What I also like to do is put 2 chests. This is just where I store the bronze and the stone that I acquire during all of this. The second thing you need to do is dig around the copper deposit. Just find where the copper ends, dig down a little bit, and start digging around the edges. This will help you get an idea of where the deposit ends, so you're not wasting time smashing rock in the wrong direction. At this point, you've dug around the copper deposit and you've probably also cleared out some trees as well. So the third thing you'll want to do is place fires around your deposit. The fire will scare off gray dwarves and make sure they don't bother you while you're mining, especially at night. Now you're ready to start collecting that sweet, sweet copper, baby. Just pick one side and work your way across. There's a hidden mechanic with mining that affects how much damage you're able to do to said mine. Don't be like this guy, smacking the mine from a distance for little to no damage. What you want to do is get up close to the mine, usually right on top of it, and then start mining. You'll do significantly more damage, and it'll be a hell of a lot easier in the long run. Once you've left a giant crater in the world, it's time to start hauling it all back for the smelter. Make sure you're loading up your smelter and kiln in between trips so it's constantly pumping out bars while you're gone. Once every last bit of copper is back at your base, mark the crater on your map to remind you that you still have stone there, and we'll get more into this later. Next, we're going to dive in on what you need to make first. There's a lot of useful items and tools you'll need to get right away. The first one being the forge, obviously. I mean, how else are you going to make anything? The next thing you'll want to make is the axe. Once you do that, you can start collecting fine wood from birch and oak trees, which will be needed for very important items, such as the boat, fermenter, fine wood bow, and upgrades for your forge and workbench. The third thing you want to make is a cultivator. With the cultivator, you can start planting all the carrot seeds you found inside the Black Forest. It's very important to get a healthy garden up and running so you can produce carrots. Be sure to plant some of those carrots into more seeds so you don't have to keep picking them from the Black Forest. You'll also want to plant seeds you've obtained from trees. This will allow you to have your own personal forest close by that will give you a steady supply of wood. Next on the list is the cauldron. With the cauldron you can make better foods such as carrot soup and queen's jam. You can also produce meads that will give you defensive buffs once fermented. Now you need to make a cart, boat, and fermenter. It doesn't really matter what order you do it in, but they're all something you'll eventually need. If you have copper deposits close to your base, I'd make a cart for easier transportation and storage. It's also good to make a cart in general for when you need to make wood runs. If you have copper deposits far from your base, make the boat. It only holds 4 slots, but that's usually enough to hold an entire copper deposit. You also need the boat for when you want to venture off and explore new lands. Then there's the fermenter, where you will ferment all the meads you've made from your cauldron. These meads will give you a variety of different buffs that will prepare you for the road ahead. Now that you've made the essentials, you can focus on upgrading your forge and workbench as well as making weapons and armor. But beware! The more you make and upgrade means the more time you have to spend in the copper mines watching the days flow by. But wait! There's more! Remember all that stone you left at your copper crater? Well, you don't want it to sit there forever. You'll eventually need all that stone. So whenever you're ready, plop down a portal in your base, make your way towards the marker you left on your map. Once there, throw down another portal and connect it. Now you can easily carry all that stone through the portal and back to your base where it belongs. Don't forget to take down your shelter and campfires as well, because that's just more resources, baby. Hopefully this guide into the Bronze Age was helpful, and if it was, don't forget to slap that like button and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any other helpful tips and tricks. Thanks for watching, and until next time, slop out.